This is just another morning at Lafayette Park. A bunch of guys warming up for a game of baseball. But these guys, they have that if you build it, they will come look to them. Funny pants and strange-looking shoes. They look like they just stepped out of the history books. This is the Jeremiah Thorwn Vintage Baseball Tournament hosted by the St. Louis Perfectos, and there are clubs like them all over the country.
On behalf of the St. Louis Perfectos, it is my honor to welcome our friends, the Wichita Bulldozers, to our fine event here today. We hope to present to you a day full of vintage baseball played to the utmost gentlemanly standards of the day. I am Tony Danger Pellegrino, and these are the St. Louis Perfectos.
Mark Wheels Olmsted.
Today, the home team will be playing the Wichita Bulldozers.
The Bulldozers!
And home field advantage isn't their only advantage. In this modern-day version of vintage baseball, the rules can change from game to game and team to team. For example, the St. Louis Perfectos play by the rules from the 1860s. On the other hand, the Wichita Bulldozers play by the rules from the late 1870s. The main difference? Gloves.
The first thing you're going to notice is none of the players in the field are wearing gloves. It's a barehanded game. Gloves didn't come into use until like the 1870s.
We're used to gloves, but we can handle it, I think. So.
Is that the biggest difference? I mean, that is a big
difference. It is the biggest difference. Most of the rules are steadily the same on everything else. The rules were pretty steady by 1860s, 1870s.
The rules may be steady, but they certainly are different than what we see today. The ball is pitched or hurled underhand 45 feet from home plate. There are no called balls or strikes. However, if you swing and miss 3 times, you're out. That rule has never changed. But foul balls, known in vintage baseball as foul ticks, are not strikes. That is, unless you foul tick on the 3rd strike. You follow? Now pay even closer attention. In vintage baseball, in the rules of 1860 anyway, the terminology can be confusing. A team is club 9, a pitcher is a hurler, a batter is a striker, and a catcher is a behind. Well, I certainly know what position I'm not signing up for. Is it difficult to adapt to the rules?
Yeah. Well, the team that we're playing today is first-year team, and they're doing pretty good at it. But you know, it is a hard thing to adjust to, especially when you're hitting and you bounce one and somebody catches it and you can't believe you're out. That just doesn't seem fair.
On the ball!
Now, obviously, the rules in baseball have changed quite a bit, but nothing more obvious than the manners of the game. Now, I'm not insinuating that modern baseball players, both recreational and professional, lack proper behavior, but baseball was originally a gentleman's game.
It was played for recreation, exercise, and social interaction. It was not so much a competitive sport back then. It was mainly played by gentlemen of upper middle class or wealth. So sportsmanship and politeness and being a gentleman or a lady, we do have a young lady on our team, is of utmost. That's more important than the competition itself for us.
So exercising etiquette means no swearing, spitting, scratching, chewing of tobacco, wagering, or any conduct offensive to a lady. Oh, and let's not forget that the use of any performance-enhancing drugs are a definite no-no. If you are found to be participating in any of these activities, the umpire could fine you a whole nickel. It was mentioned that the Perfectos do have a young lady on their team, and if you're thinking that has to stray away from the rules of 1860, well, you'd be right. But then again, this is modern-day vintage baseball.
In vintage baseball, you play basically by the rules set down by the 1860 convention. And each team has what we call conventions. We can actually change the rules to suit what we want to do in modern times, such as a young lady play for us, or we have an African-American ball player. That was pretty much unheard of back in the 1860s.
Right. Okay, am I ready?
You're ready.
And it's a good thing they did, because I got my exciting yet brief shot in the big leagues. I'm not exactly sure what the rules are for pinch hitting, but I'm sure they would prefer their players not wear flip-flops.